Good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much for your patience. We were experiencing some 2020 technical difficulties, so thank you for hanging in there with us. Thank you so much for joining us for a very special holiday edition of Golondrinas Live Sessions. I'm Laura Gonzalez, the Education and Volunteer Manager here at El Rancho de las Golondrinas Living History Museum. Today we have an exciting program on Spanish and flamenco holiday songs, popularly referred to as Villancicos, presented by Nicolasa Chávez, accompanied by Luis Campos. Together as Pasión Flamenco, they will share the connection between these historic songs of Spain and New Mexico's own Las Posadas tradition, tracing the development of flamenco and how it came to be a fixture in New Mexico's cultural heritage. We will hear this rich history through song, music, and dance. Nicolasa Chávez, a 14th generation New Mexico, is curator of Latino, Hispano, Spanish colonial collections at the Museum of International Folk Art. She received her master's degree in history with the concentration in Iberian studies at the University of New Mexico. She is the co-curator of the recent exhibition Música Buena, Hispano folk music of New Mexico, with Maestro Cipriano Vigil. She also curated flamenco from Spain to New Mexico, which was named by USA Today as one of the top 12 must-see exhibitions for the summer of 2016. She is the author of the accompanying publication, The Spirit of Flamenco, from Spain to New Mexico. She began her early flamenco training with Vicente Romero of Santa Fe, Lily de Castillo of Albuquerque, at the University of New Mexico with Eva Encinas Sandoval and Pablo Rodarte, Maria Benitez, and La Tona in Sevilla, Spain. She co-created the Santa Fe collaborative groups Pueblo Flamenco and later her group Pasión Flamenca. She has studied, taught, and performed authentic Argentine tango and was a guest artist with Tango USA in the summer production of Flamenco Meets Tango. She currently lives in Santa Fe, where up until recently, she continued to make special guest appearances in flamenco shows at various local venues. We're really glad to have her come out today to join us. Luis Campos has been part of the New Mexico flamenco scene since its earliest beginnings. In recent years, he has accompanied dancers Juan Siri, Valeria Montes, La Emi, Fabián Cisneros, Eva Encinas, Nave Encinas, and many others. He and Nicolasa collaborated with Niño David in creating a program of flamenco villancicos, which resulted in many performances and a CD. His first CD, Amigos, won critical acclaim and was honored by the New Mexico Music Industry Coalition in receiving the MIC Award for Excellence in Original Music Production. Performances of his have been broadcast nationally by PBS stations and the dance drama Revelaciones. He has also reconnected with his classical guitar mentor, Cuban guitarist Héctor Garcia. Together they performed 3 concerts of duets, with the primary focus being works of Maestro Garcia's mentor, the Grand Maestro Emilio Pujol. Currently, Luis is concentrating on composing flamenco lyrics relating to his New Mexico roots. We are beyond excited to have them share their knowledge and their talent as part of our Las Golondrinas Live Sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicolasa Chávez and Luis Campos.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. We are thrilled to be here. Again, I'm Nicolasa Chávez. This is Luis Campos. Together we are Pasión Flamenca, and we would love to share some holiday villancicos with you, flamenco holiday songs, which are a little different than the U.S. songs we're used to hearing. So we will not be doing Rudolph in Spanish, but traditional songs from Spain that very often sing about scenes from the Nativity, but often as well, the Virgin Mary, as she's a pregnant woman, getting ready for the birth, getting ready for the big day of her wedding. And there's a lot of themes about nature, being out in nature, and the naturaleza. Very often in these songs, the Virgin is a gitana, just like the flamenco people of Spain. The first song we're going to do is called Gloria. Los caminos se hicieron con agua, viento y frío. gloria, a su bendita Madre Victoria, gloria recién nacido, gloria. En Belén tocan a fuego y a fortaleza que arde, a nacer rey de los cielos, en el mundo quiere darle la gloria a su bendita Madre Victoria, gloria recién nacido, gloria. Buen cuerpito duerme en los brazos de María, y en los campos de nieve, que lo vendrá con el día la gloria, a su bendita Madre Victoria, gloria recién nacido, gloria. A los celestes bajones, sol y baja, sol y luna, iban redondos los flores, que lo vendrá con el día la gloria, a su bendita Madre Victoria, gloria recién nacido, gloria. Gloria. This song has wonderful lyrics talking about the Virgin Mary about to have birth, how glorious it is, but it talks about La Madre Victoria, how victorious the mother is for bringing this light into the world. And in some of the verses, it talks about the heavens decorating balconies with flowers, decorating the crib of the Christ child with flowers. One verse talks about snow falling and the pure white of the snow blessing the child in the cradle. The final verse is a very common theme we'll find in songs from Spain about the three kings, Los Reyes Magos, which over in Spain and other parts of the Mediterranean, throughout South America, and many other countries, the 6th of January, Three Kings Day, is as huge as Christmas Day. It marks the holiday when the Reyes Magos, or the three Magi, come and visit the Christ child and bring gifts. So you will hear about them in a lot of the songs as well. Our next song is a more traditional song in El Portal de Belén, which is in the manger in Bethlehem, or the Portal. We use the word Portal here in New Mexico too, Belén meaning Bethlehem. But the first verse, it talks about the Virgin carrying a rose, just a single rose that Jose has given her, Joseph, on the day that she's about to give birth. The second verse is about bringing a cage, a beautiful bird cage with a bird inside so that the bird can sing a lullaby to the young baby. The final verse is a very common verse you'll hear in many villancicos, in which the Virgin is walking, and it says she's walking solita, which sometimes it means alone, but in this case it means enjoying that moment alone where she's feeling her child inside her, and it says she doesn't have any more company than the child that's inside of her while she's out walking. This is in El Portal de Belén. Ole. lleva una rosa en su divina pechera, que se la dio San José antes que el niño naciera. Alegría, 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 alegría y placer, que parió la Virgen María en la pata de Belén, en la pata de Belén. Al niño la han regalado una jalita de alambre con un pajarillo dentro para que el niño le cante. Alegría, 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 alegría y placer, que parió la Virgen María en la pata de Belén, en la pata de Belén. La Virgen va caminando, caminando solita, nos lleva, nos acompaña, que el niñito de la mañita. Alegría, 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 alegría y placer, que parió la Virgen María en la pata de Belén, en la pata de Belén. Alegría, 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 alegría y placer, que parió la Virgen María en la pata de Belén, en la pata de Belén. La Virgen va caminando, caminando solita, y nos lleva, nos acompaña, que el niñito de la mañita. Alegría, 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 alegría y placer, que parió la Virgen María en la pata de Belén, en la pata de Belén. ¡Vamos! Alegría, 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 alegría y placer, que parió la Virgen María en la pata de Belén, en la pata de Belén. Eso es, ole. It's a very cold winter day here. We are so thrilled to be out here at El Rancho de las Golondrinas. Right now closed due to COVID-19, but hopefully in 21 this place will be open again. 500 acres of beautiful land, historic buildings, and usually a lot of live performances, entertainment, harvest festivals, wine festivals, history days, and we're just thrilled to be a part of it today for you. Our next song that we are doing is a really fun one. This is more of a flamenco-esque, less folkloric song called Se Casa la Virgen, and this is about the upcoming wedding of the Virgin and Jose, and it has a little bit of an Arabic sound to it. And in the history of Spain, 800 years of Spain's history, medieval times, was under Arabic rule, and Spain was largely Muslim. However, there were multiple cultures living in Spain at that time: Sephardic Jewish, Christian, even before that Celtic cultures, and all of these influences came together to infuse the music and the art and the food of Spain, all of which, of course, came over to New Mexico. So we have little pellizcos, or little pinches of these flavors, even in our New Mexico heritage and tradition. This song is de Casa la Virgen. En el cielo han aguilao, balcones para un gas, que viene el Señor, que viene el Señor. Que el día de la Nochebuena, el día más grande que tenemos todos. Aleluya. Eso. En el cielo han aguilado balcones para un casamiento que se va a hacer. En el cielo han aguilado balcones para un casamiento que se va a hacer. Que se casa la Virgen María con el patriarca Señor San José. Señor San José, Señor San José. Que el día de la Nochebuena es el día más grande que tenemos todos. Que tenemos todos, que tenemos todos. Que el día de la Nochebuena es el día más grande que tenemos todos. Eso es, Luis. Vale. Se casa la Virgen. Getting ready to marry Jose. And I believe that leads us to the New Mexico connection. So as those songs speak of Maria y Jose, or Joseph and Mary in English, here in New Mexico we have the tradition of Las Posadas. This tradition came over to us from Spain about 400 years ago. It's been practiced since that time. This year, a lot of us are missing Las Posadas because usually it goes home to home and involves being invited into people's homes and sharing food and drink and music and song. And there's other versions that are done around small towns and villages throughout New Mexico. Las Posadas is not unique to New Mexico. It's also throughout the Americas, so celebrated everywhere. But here in New Mexico, it is really a really common thing you see during the holidays. And it is the story of Joseph and Mary going home to home or posada to the inns. And they're seeking shelter so that she can give birth. She's about to give birth. And they're traveling. And each place they go, they are told, no, you cannot come in, until finally they get to the final place where somebody lets them in and they have the baby. And the rest is history and the holiday celebrations. So we are doing Asia Belén. This song, I should say, this was a song that Luis introduced me to, and the original of this song was done around the 60s or 70s by Paco de Lucia, famous guitarist, most of you probably know, and singer Fosforito, and their version is absolutely spectacular, and we just fell in love with it. It's absolutely wonderful, and we hope you enjoy it today. Hacia Belén caminando, reyes y pastores van, que nací yo, el niño Dios, el rey de la humanidad. por esta divinidad que nació de María en este humilde portal. El Rey de todos los reyes es un rayito de luna que nacido aquí en Belén entre las 12 la una. Y alegría, cantad, cantad por Tortillo, el revelo de María, de San José y del niño. Por esta divinidad que nació de María en este humilde portal. El Rey de todos los reyes es un rayito de luna que nacido en Belén entre las 12 la una. Y alegría, cantad, cantad por Tortillo, el revelo de María, de San José y del niño. Y alegría, alegría. Hacia Belén. And the next song we're going to do is also related to Las Posadas. This one again talks about the story of traveling and asking to be let in for shelter, and again being turned away and told no. This one's done to the rhythm of tangos flamenco. So the first song you heard had a nice rocking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This one is slightly different with a 1, 2, 3, 4. In this one, I really enjoy the words. It's a very tender song between husband and wife. And after they're traveling, Jose's always the one that goes ahead of the Virgin, and he has to knock on the door, ask to be let in, and in a way begging to be let in because they don't have a home. And saying my wife is pregnant, and he's always the one that gets turned down, and people are telling him, go away, we don't want, your type here, and he's bearing the brunt of that. And when they finally get let in at the last place, Maria tells him, why don't you go ahead and go to sleep? You take a nap. Don't worry, I will let you know as soon as I go into labor when the time comes. And the song ends with that. It's just lovely. Iba caminando la Virgen María, no se lleva en su compañía malta, no la de encontrar, y antes de las 12 a Belén llegar, iba caminando y se encontrado uno pastorcito, y ellos se han preguntado si va para Belén. Hay mucho candado. Y antes de las 12, antes de soy sano sé. Y pío posada para una mujer.
Nicolasa.
Iba caminando la Virgen María, hasta no se lleva en su compañía, compañía más alta, no la de encontrar, y antes de las 12 a Belén llegar. Iba caminando y san encontrado una posadita y ahí se han parado. Le dice María, duérmete, yo sé que antes de las 12, antes de las 12 yo te llamaré. Y eran 12 toques, ella comprendió que de los cielos era mismo Dios, que había de nacer, en un portamilde llamado Belén. Vale, iban caminando. The flamenco version of Las Posadas, and I do have to say that version, we were inspired greatly by Jose Meneste. That was a live version from, I believe, 2001 of that particular song. Again, a lot of these songs have been sung for hundreds of years. Early on, they were very folkloric in nature, and later, when the flamencos got a hold of them, the gitanos in Spain, they did their own flamenco rhythms, and some of the same words fed over into the songs. So you can very often hear the same villancico, and it'll sound very folkloric and like an old classic tune, or you can hear the same song in a flamenco version. And for all of these songs, there's hundreds of different verses. So in studying and learning about them, we've spent years working on these, and we always find new ones and new versions. And so we try to take verses from different versions that we've heard and put them all together. I think right now we have a special treat. This song will be recognizable to a lot of you because this is a song that we are used to hearing here in the U.S.
Madronas?
Oh, Madroños, I'm out of order. Sorry.
You can do it.
I was going to start you sooner. Okay, yes. We're going to do a song. This one is really fun. So this is purely a Gitano version, a flamenco version of Madroños al Niño. And the words are very humorous and comic. And this is something we don't always hear in our songs in the U.S. During the holidays. But the lyrics are making fun, in a way, lightly making fun of the newlywed married couple of Jose Maria. Because in Gitano lore, Maria is always a gypsy. She's a gitana. She's very dark and morena. And she grew up with the cuisine and the music and everything of Los Gitanos. And Jose is the non-gypsy who marries her, and he has to learn how to do everything to please her and become a part of the family. One verse is really sweet because it does say, and once they get together and they're married, he is automatically Gitano himself. So he's already accepted by marrying La Virgen. But then another verse, he's in the kitchen cooking, and he's going to surprise her with a guisado, which is like a wonderful fried dish with olive oil and a bunch of great ingredients. But he leaves out tomato, and that's one of the main ingredients. And the Virgin tells him, if I eat that, it's going to kill me. So here he's trying hard, but she comes in and says, look, you've cooked this all wrong. In another verse, there's some really fun ones where they're going on a ride. The Christ child is born already, so they're new parents. And they're going up the side of a mountain, and there's gooseberry trees everywhere. And one of the verses says, do not feed the baby gooseberries because he will get drunk. Because as gooseberries ferment, high alcohol content, and you can have a really sweet drink out of them. So in one of the verses, of course, Jose is picking them off the tree when nobody's looking and giving them to the Christ child. And a final verse, which is my favorite, the really fun one, they actually lose the baby. He has either learned to crawl really fast or is now walking by the time of this verse. And they're hysterical, looking everywhere for him. And they find him at a huerga, which is a jam session with a bunch of gitanos playing music down by the river. And this is Madroños al Niño. San José ha tomado celo de preñada de María. San José ha tomado celo de preñada de María. Y cuando nació Cordero, la baba se le caía. Agancha la rama y coge limones y dale a la vida de lo malo mejores que sí que no. Si no me da vino no te lo elijo. La Virgen era gitana, San José era gacho, se ha casado con la Virgen, gitano fueran los dos, la mula le cruñe, le bulle bajea. El niño de diablo mío se crea que sí, que no. María se llama la madre de Dios. San José hizo un guisao, pero no le echó tomate. San José hizo un guisao, pero no le echó tomate. Y la Virgen le decía, si lo pruebo que me mate, agancha la rama y coge limones y dale a la vida de lo malo mejores que sí que no. Si El niño Dios se ha perdido. Su madre lo está buscando. El niño Dios se ha perdido. Su madre lo está buscando y está en la orilla del río. De huelga con los gitanos, madroño al niño, no le demos más, que con los madroños se le puede emborrachar, que sí, que no. María se llama la madre de Dios. Vale, madroños al niño, and don't give him any.
Oh, can't have a drunk Jesus.
Now, we will go in order. This is the song I was introducing before. This song is Los Tres Reyes. As I mentioned, the three kings are very special and important in many cultures. We have them here. We mention them in our holiday songs. And obviously, when we set up nativity scenes and Christmas decorations, you very often see Los Tres Reyes, or the three kings. But it is not common here in the U.S. for us to celebrate Three Kings Day. And historically, in European tradition, there were 12 days of Christmas. And the first day being Christmas Day, and day 12 actually fell on Three Kings Day, with New Year's right smack dab in the middle. So you actually did have 2 weeks of ceremony and celebrating. And Three Kings Day was also referred to as Twelfth Night. You've probably heard that term. There's a Shakespeare play named Twelfth Night. But that is the day where the kings actually finally arrived to bring gifts to the newborn king. And this is a very beautiful arrangement done by Luis Campos. So I will let him take it away. Campos, everybody. We three kings, los Tres Reyes. Now we're going to leave a little bit of our cold holiday season and do something spring-like for everybody. Traditions around the world during the winter celebrate festivals of light, rebirth, the coming of longer days again. We are in the darkest part of the year, hence all our wonderful tendencies and urges to be around a cozy fire, have candlelight, all the things that make you feel warm inside. And as the days grow longer, we near springtime. And there is a fun, I call it the second holiday season. There's actually lots of holidays in Spain year-round. But there's a springtime season. Once you pass through the Lenten period and Easter and Holy Week, the spring fairs take place and start. And throughout Spain, each fair takes on its own feel, and people dress in regional costume and do their regional folk dances. And there's dancing, eating, partying all night long. Very little sleep for like a week straight. But each region is unique. And down in Andalusia, of course, the birthplace of flamenco, a lot of the villages and towns and big cities have ferias. And the first one kicks off in April, the Feria de Abril in Sevilla. And then from there, it goes throughout Andalusia. There's ferias in Córdoba, Granada, Jerez de la Frontera, where they dance bulerías, in Cádiz. And it's kind of like I call it another holiday season, because all of the stores and shop windows, it's kind of like Christmas time, where several weeks before Feria, every window is a display of Feria costumes, paper lanterns and lights, music playing in the stores, music in all the bars and restaurants leading up to Feria. And so we wanted to bring a little springtime warmth for you. This is a regional dance called Cevianas, which comes from Sevilla, Spain, and is very commonly danced during the Feria and at many gatherings and parties.
Go ahead, Nicolasa. ¡Vamos allá!
Ole Luis. Eso. That was the Cevianas, springtime in Spain. So those are usually done in pairs, 2 people dancing together or 4 people in groups. Fairs, there's usually hundreds out. I'm in the streets in these wonderful tents called casetas, which are, I guess, equivalent to really fancy wedding tents here, but really bright in color, a lot of paper lanterns, with a bar in back where people are serving sherry, queso manchego, jamón serrano, eating your tapas, drinking sherry, and dancing all night. Take a sip of water here. And we're going to move from Cevianas, a party song, to the ultimate party rhythm and song in Spain, the rumba flamenca. And the rumba flamenca was made very famous in our part of the world by the Gitanos, the Gypsy Kings, a party band for sure doing flamenco rumbas, and I think single-handedly made that like really, really popular in the United States. In Spain, rumbas have been going on for forever. It is a really fast rhythm. It blends flamenco with rhythms from the Caribbean. So when the Spanish came over and settled this part of the globe, and musical rhythms also went back into Spain, rhythms from Africa as well went into Spain. The rumba is one of those. This song is the most popular, I'd say the most popular villancico in Spain, Los Peces en el Río. And I liken it in popularity to our jingle bells here in the United States. I think every Christmas album made has jingle bells on it. And there's so many great versions from Bing Crosby to Ella Fitzgerald. And to right here in New Mexico, we have a transplant from Spain, Chuscales, who did a really great flamenco rumba version of Jingle Bells that I remember hearing years ago. But Los Peces en el Río also is probably the most known Spanish song, other than Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. But a lot of people tend to know Los Peces en el Río, and if you mention flamenco holiday songs, this is the first one that comes to mind. It was also made popular. Mannheim's Dreamroller did it on one of their Christmas albums a few years back. Super fast. We'll see how well we do. We're keeping it a little slower because it is probably maybe 30 degrees out. It's very cold. So we're going to be nice to lose fingers after that beautiful guitar solo he just did. But here we are, Los Peces en el Río. A little bit about words again. Starting with the Virgin Maria hanging out in the fields of rosemary and down by the river and kind of tending to clothes and washing pañales, getting the little cloth diapers ready for the baby. And everything around her is just blooming and glowing, and the birds are singing. And there's a verse about her combing her hair and how her hair is of gold and the comb is of the finest silver. And again, that verse we sang earlier about her carrying a rose that Jose has given to her on the day that she's about to give birth. Some other verses that are really fun, again, are based on the 3 kings and the shepherds and, in our culture, the little drummer boy too. Like, what do you take to this new baby that is the newborn king? And 2 of our favorite, and again, Los Peces has hundreds and hundreds of verses, but the 2 we chose to put in here, one of them is, I don't know what to bring to this child. Maybe I'll bring him a big zambomba, which is a rhythmic instrument from Spain. It kind of looks like a drum, but it has a stick inside that goes in and out, and it makes this really interesting noise. And it's used a lot during Christmas time and for villancicos. But in the verse it says, I'm going to bring him a zambomba so his mother can play it to him, so she can lull the baby to sleep with a zambomba. And then perhaps one of the funniest verses I've ever heard was, I don't know what to bring the Christ child. Maybe I'll just give him my heart and he can use it as a pañal. He can use it as one of his diapers. Okay, here we go. Dios nace. La Virgen se está penando entre cortina y cortina. Los cabellos son de oro, el peine de pata fina. Pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río. Pero mira cómo beben los Dios nacido. Beben y beben y beben a beber. Los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. La Virgen lleva una rosa en su divina pechera. Que será diosa, no sé. El día de Nochebuena. Pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río. Pero mira cómo beben, volverá Dios nacido. Beben y beben y beben a beber. Los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. Como le llevan a niño, no tengo nada que darle, le llevaré el corazón, pa' que le sirva de pañales. Pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río, pero mira cómo beben, volverá Dios nacido. Beben y beben y vuelven a beber, los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. ¡Aleluya! ¡Acá! ¡Güey! ¡Güey, ole! ¡Apao! ¡Eso! ¡Apao! Muy bien, muy bien. ¡Vale! ¿Cómo le llevan a niño? No tengo nada que darle, le llevaré una zambomba pa' que le toque su madre. Pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río, pero mira cómo beben, volverá Dios nacido. Beben y beben y vuelven a beber, los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. La Virgen va caminando solita, y no lleva más compañía que niña de la manita. Pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río, pero mira cómo beben, volverá Dios nacido. Beben y beben y vuelven a beber, los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. Beben y beben y vuelven a beber, los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. Beben y beben y vuelven a beber, los peces en el río, volverá Dios nacer. ¡Vale! La rumba flamenca. Los peces en el río. Eso, hey. Good workout.
Especially with a mask on.
Yes.
Hard to sing.
Yes, it is. Definitely. Definitely. And we rehearsed, actually, both of us in masks for rehearsal. We're in very fresh New Mexico December air. Actually, there's these beautiful doors wide open and a beautiful portal that we're looking onto. And golden sunlight coming in, but definitely cold. But that comes to the end of our Villancico program, but we do want to do one more song. This one, again, is one that's done all over the world, pretty much. It originally in German, Stille Nacht, Silent Night, a Noche de Paz. And this is our rendition. We're singing it in Spanish, but if you would like to sing on in English, please feel free to do so. Noche de paz, noche de amor, todo duerme alrededor, bajan los astros que esparcen su luz, viene anunciando niñito Jesús, brilla la estrella de paz, brilla la estrella de paz. Noche de paz, noche de amor, ven que bello resplandor, luz en el rostro del niño Jesús, en el pesebre del mundo la luz, astro de eterno fulgor, astro de eterno fulgor. Noche de paz, noche de amor, ven que bello resplandor, luz en el rostro del niño Jesús, en el pesebre del mundo la luz, astro de eterno fulgor, astro de eterno fulgor. Noche de paz. Once again, we want to thank you all for coming out today. Muchísimas felicidades. Prospero año nuevo. Ojalá que 2021 sea mucho mejor que el 20. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and best wishes for 2021.
Sí.
Wow, thank you, Nicolasa and Luis, for a beautiful performance. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for being part of our Golondrinas Live Sessions. We really appreciate your time and your talent and sharing it with us and our wonderful audience. Thank you all again for being patient with us, getting started this afternoon. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon for this wonderful program. We have an exciting announcement to make. Part of the reason we wanted to film in our gift shop today was we wanted to tell all of you that we will soon be putting our Las Golondrinas Museum gift shop online. So make sure to keep up with us on our Facebook, on our Instagram, both at SF Golondrinas. Tune into our website, golondrinas.org, for all updates regarding what's going on here at the museum. We're wishing you all a very safe, happy, and healthy holiday season, and we're looking forward to seeing you again next year. Remember that this program, along with the other programs that we've done as part of our Golondrinas Live Sessions series, are available on our Facebook page. This will be posted there and remain there, so please share with your family and friends this holiday season. And don't forget, for those that don't have Facebook, to refer them to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Las Golondrinas channel. We'd love for you to subscribe to us and see what else we've got going on. So again, happy holidays to all of you, and we'll see you next year.